Good morning, students. First of all, am I audible? Now, yes. First of all, I would like to congratulate you, all of you, for your hard work. Because of that, you have cleared NEET and got the admission in Mahatma Gandhi Medical College and Hospital, which is a prestigious institute, a unit of Mahatma Gandhi University of Medical Sciences and Technology. Am I audible to the last bench now? Okay, thank you. So, today I, Dr. R.C. Gupta, Professor of Anesthesia and working as medical student in Mahatma Gandhi Hospital, will discuss with you about the organ donation. You have all come from the biology background. So, I will ask you, what is the basic unit of any human being or any organism for that matter? Cell. What it contains? Cell membrane, mitochondria, nucleus, Golgi body, etc. Okay. So, cell is the basic unit of any organism. So, a group of cells, few cells or millions of these cells, make a tissue. And a group of tissue makes a organ, and a group of organ makes a system, like central nervous system, cardiovascular system, gastrointestinal system, and so on, respiratory system and so on. So, a system is working on the organ. Different organs in the body have got different functions. As you know all, lungs have got function of oxygenation and elimination of carbon dioxide. Liver has got function of its own, like synthesis of glucose and proteins and detoxification of poisonous toxic elements. Kidney has got its own function of excretion of waste products of the metabolism from the body. Pancreas has its own function of producing insulin and glucagon and other pancreatic juices. So, when a organ becomes damaged, we fall sick. Okay. Alright? When any organ becomes damaged, we fall sick. And we go to hospital, take treatment by medicines or something, and the organ becomes alright, and we are alright. Right? But sometimes there is a irreversible permanent damage in the organ, which cannot be cured by any medicine or by any means. So what happens? That organ fails and results to, if it is kidney, it is renal failure. If it is heart, it is heart failure. If it is lungs, it is respiratory failure, and so on. So now organ is important. Now in this scenario, when medicines are not working, surgery is not possible, what do? The only hope remains is organ transplantation. Okay. So what is organ transplantation? Is that you take out organ from a particular person, healthy organ. There is no point in taking a diseased organ. So you take organ from a healthy person or healthy organ and fit it into a other person whose organ is sick. That is known as organ transplantation. Taking out something from somebody and fitting into somebody else. This is organ transplantation, and for transplantation you need at least one organ, which can occur only if somebody donates. There is a difference between donation and giving. Selling, giving and donate. There are three different terms. Selling means you take money for something and then give your organ, that is selling. Giving means when you just give it and with some don't even take anything, but you say I've given it. Ahsan karo. Donation is selflessness. You are donating with your desire, with your willingness for upkeep of somebody else. So this is the organ donation. Now, first organ donation or transplant in India was done in KIM Hospital, Bombay in 1967. That was kidney transplant. And first heart transplant was done in AIIMS, Delhi in 1994. And first successful multi-organ transplant, more than one organ transplant was done in Apollo Hospital, Chennai in 1995. And first successful lung transplant was done in Madras Medical Mission Hospital in 1998. And first pancreas transplant was done in 1999 in Ahmedabad. If you look back at our mythology, what was the first organ transplant? I'm talking of Indian mythology. By Ganeshji. So we do not even know details about that, but long back the Lord Shiva has done the transplantation of a head of an elephant to Ganeshji. So our science could have been so developed at that time, which we do not know at the moment. So anyway, so in the present era, this is the history. Now, organ donation is a problem because there is shortage of organs. Because we need at least 1.8 lakhs kidneys. 1.8 lakhs renal failure patients are present in India at any given time. They need kidney transplant. So what is the situation? We are doing only 10,000 kidney transplant per year. So huge difference, huge gap. Similarly, the 2 lakhs people are suffering from liver failure. Out of that, 30,000 need liver transplant. And how much we are doing? 3,000 liver transplant per year. Similarly, 50,000 heart failure patients are there who need transplant, but we are doing only 10 to 15 heart transplant over the India in a year. So, on an average, we need 65 organ donations per million of the population. But our figure is 0.56 only, 0.56 organ donations per million of the population. While if you look into other countries like Sweden and Norway, their figure is about 56 organ donations per million of the population. So we as India are lagging behind in organ donation, and Rajasthan in particular is far behind. Because why? Because we have a lot of myths about it. If we donate organs, our body will be mutilated, then there will be no rebirth. Or if there will be rebirth, the next janam mein wo आदमी बिना organ के पैदा होगा. So many things keep on going. Like when my father or my relative has died intact, why should I get into a chilfard? Okay. So all these so many myths are present, so that people are not coming forward for organ donation. If you have got any questions or doubts, you can note down. At the end of the lecture, I will give you 10 minutes to clear your doubts. If we donate organs, means if your body, one body can save 8 lives. One body, if donates all the organs, it can save 8 lives. So I will come to that later on. We in Mahatma Gandhi Hospital we started our organ donation transplant in year 2012, December 2012. We did our first cadaveric. Now you understand what is cadaver? You will be dissecting, doing dissection in a department of anatomy. That all will be cadavers. Dead body is cadaver. So we did our first kidney transplant in December 2012. That was our first experience, and the donor was a 9-year-old boy who had injury after an accident, road traffic accident. And after that, so far, we have done 1,729 kidney transplants till yesterday. Out of that, only 19 are cadaveric. Remaining are live donations. And we have done 70 liver transplants. Out of that, 17 are cadaveric. We have done two heart transplants, 1 lung transplant, and 1 pancreas transplant. Now, this is coming to what a dead body can give. What all a person can donate. He can after lungs only after death. Okay. No living person can donate the lung, because then his life will be miserable. Heart again only cadaveric. दो तो नहीं होता ना, एक ही होता है. पिक्चरों में 2 हो सकते हैं, रियल लाइफ में एक ही होता है. Okay, so heart only cadaveric. Liver can be given as live donation, because liver is a big organ and it has got tremendous regeneration power. Even you cut off 90% of the liver and leave 10%. Within 3 months, the 10% again become 100%. So regeneration power of liver is too much. So we can give liver as a live donation. Similarly, intestine, kidney, God has given 2 kidneys. One is spare, one can be easily work on 1 kidney. So kidneys are there. So that's why you see the maximum number of the transplants are from the kidney transplant. Okay. Similarly, pancreas, we can take part of the pancreas and it can be done as live donation. Fine. Next, the tissues. One can give tissues also. Tissue, you know tissue. The peculiar thing about the tissue is certain tissues like cornea, skin, bone marrow, heart valves, not heart valves. Middle ear, like tympanic membrane, and tendons. You know tendons? Yeah. They hardly have any blood supply. Okay. They hardly have any blood supply. Muscle has got blood supply, but tendon, they are like a fibrous, like a rope. They don't have blood supply. So these are tissues which can be transplanted even after death. So no time limit. Even after some time they can be taken. Now we take out the organ, somebody's body, and put it in other body. There should be some time frame, some processing will be there. Some time is required. Sometimes it may happen that you have to transport the liver to other hospital, or sometime to other city. Okay. So the heart can survive only for 4 to 6 hours. Similarly, lungs. Liver and pancreas can survive outside the body only for 12 to 18 hours. Kidney can survive up to 36 hours, and intestine again for 12 to 18 hours. Why this is important? Because in this duration, the organ has to reach to other location and should be transplanted within this time frame. So sometimes you must have read in the paper or in the TV, we make green corridor. We contact the police and we stop all the traffic on the road when this vehicle which is taking the organ is passing through, to minimize the time frame. We send the organs by air also, or if possible, by like from Mahatma Gandhi to SMS, goes by road, we make green corridor. If it's going to Delhi, we send it by air. Okay. Sometimes even to extend, the people do chartered helicopters to carry the organs. Fine. And when we transport the organs or we keep the organs for some time, we have a preservative solution is there, in which we keep this organ so that it can last little longer. Okay. Otherwise, organ once gets fructified or damaged, then it will be of no use. And that solution name is HTK. It has got histamine, tryptophan and potassium. HTK. Now again, what are the organs in demand? Kidney is most in demand. You see, more than 70% demand is for the kidney. Second is liver and heart, then kidney, pancreas together, lung and pancreas alone. In order of merit, this is the general demand we face upon. Like organ donation is important. We need 5 lakhs organs per year, and because these organs are not available, most of the people take their last breath without organ transplant. So much is the scarcity of the organs. People are not coming forward for donation. Now we come to organ donation. As I said, there are 2 types of the organ donations. One is live donations and the cadaveric donation. In the live donation, firstly, can have only for the organs which are surplus in donor's body, like liver, kidney, pancreas. Okay, only 3 organs. Then in this, the donor has to be a near relative, the blood relation. Blood relation means father, mother, sisters. And now this criteria now has been expanded to aunties, mausi, mama, and friends, to overcome the shortage of the. I will come to you, that legal part I will explain a little later. And most important is the organs should be compatible. There should be DNA matching of the donor and recipient. So all the 3 criteria: surplus, healthy organ, within the family, compatibility. If you meet all these 3 criteria, then only you can go for the organ transplant. So that becomes narrowed down, and we get less and less organs. As far as cadaver donation is concerned, it is the situation when the heart supplies to all the organs, and all of us, most of 99% people die of the clinical death. In this, heart stops first, then blood supply to all organs stops. Okay. So the time frame between the stoppage of the heart and stoppage of blood supply to the organ is only 3 to 4 minutes. So in cadaver transplant, it is not possible in case of the clinical death. You can't do anything in 3-4 minutes. After that, organ will not get supplied, they will get damaged. So cadaver transplant is one type of the. I will come to that next slide. Live donations, I explained to you all the 3 preconditions, and the remaining organs should be capable of functioning. I have already explained this right to you. Cadaver. So there are two types of the death. I will discuss. First death I described to you, clinical death or cardiac death, in which heart stops first and remaining organs suffer from the lack of the oxygen and blood later, and within 3 to 4 minutes they also start stopping the function, and particularly the brain also. Now comes brain death. What is brain death? No, all systems work in our body, but what is the nerve center control room? Brain. All central systems function under control of brain. So if brain is damaged irreversibly, permanently, then it means that person will not recover at all. Death is certain. Okay. So that is the time you can keep the patient on ventilator, give him respiration, his blood flow is continuing because heart is working, brain is dead. All organs are working except brain. And we know that it cannot come out. Brain once died, it will not come out. So the people have started. Now this is the time you can take the organs. Okay. So you can keep the patient on ventilator because respiration is controlled by the brain. So if the brain is dead, there will be no respiration. So this patient will be on ventilator. Now you have 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours to plan your administrative things and do the procedure. This is the time this brain death or rest is important. Okay. Now the question arises, who will say the patient is brain dead? Who will say? Now, there are legal regulations for this. I will come to it. The legal part I will come little later. Okay. So, brain death, I told you how brain death is certified. The government, firstly, not all the hospitals can do organ transplantation. Okay. They have to apply to the government. Government gives a license or permission, authority to do organ transplant. And it is the government who regulates everything. In Jaipur, only 6 hospitals are permitted to do organ transplantation. Eternal Hospital, Mahatma Gandhi Hospital, SMS Hospital, Narayan Hridayalaya, and one more, 2 more. Not all the hospitals, because their team comes, inspects everything, see that everything is fair and in position, then only they get. From the panel of doctors, there we make a panel of doctors which certify brain death. Okay. And this panel is approved by the government. So in this hospital, 20 doctors are in that panel. At any time when we are in the ICU, if brain death patient is suspected, we form a panel of 4 doctors. They will examine the patient for brain functions. Well, brain function means cranial nerve functions, consciousness, respiratory system, respiration, hearing, all these things they examine, do apnea test, and then they certify 4 doctors. Among them is 4 is, one is the medical superintendent of the hospital, me. Second, any neurosurgeon or neurophysician. Third is any intensivist or anesthetist. And 4th is a treating doctor, a doctor who is treating that patient. So this 4th doctor's team will assemble at any time whenever required, maybe 2 o'clock in the night or 12 o'clock in the night. We come and do this procedure. It takes about half an hour. and then the same testing is repeated after 6 hours. Like somebody has taken some sedative whose effect is still remaining. So we give time to brain to recover. So we repeat the same test again for after 6 hours. And then we do examine, and then if we are satisfied the patient is brain dead, then we declare brain dead. Okay. So it is possible only for all organs to be taken out after brain death. Then we start talking to relatives, are you willing to give this thing? In the brain death, one more thing, the organ donation, the living donation in particular. While a person is alive, he can make his will to donate his organs after his death. Okay. Any person while living can make a will to donate his organs after his death. Okay. So that will be utilized unless he has not revoked the will later on in his life. Or if that is not so, after his death or after his brain death, his first degree relatives, they have to give consent for the donation. Without that, nobody can take the organs. First degree means, again I told you, son, daughter, mother. So these are the finer points. Now, as I told you, same thing. Once a organ is donated, the patient has brain death, we take out the organ. Now, retrieval, so taking out the organ is known as retrieval of the organ. It is done only on retrieval centers. Okay, retrieval center. All hospitals cannot do retrieval of the hospital. Again, for the retrieval center, there has to be a permanent license and registration. So, from the retrieval center, it may be Mahatma Gandhi College, or it may be SMS, or it may be in Kota some hospital. That hospital may not be performing organ transplant, but that hospital can retrieve the organ. Okay. So, number of retrieval centers is much more than the organ transplant centers. So, once the organ is retrieved, the procurement procedure starts, and we have got a central system where it is registered, and then the seniority is maintained, which organ to be given to which patient in which hospital. Okay. From waiting list, as per priority, it is selected by the central authorities, government authorities, and that organ goes to that particular hospital, particular patient, and then it is transplanted to the candidate. It is not that simple कि हम लोग खुद ही कर लेंगे. Now, after brain death, heart, liver, kidney, pancreas, intestine, and lungs can be successfully transplanted. Because ventilator is supplying the oxygen and heart is still beating, so organs can be taken out. But after cardiac death, as I told you, only tissues can be taken out. That is cornea, heart valve, bones, and skin. In the ear, only eardrum and bones. More and more people die of the cardiac death. So, availability of the tissue little easier than the organ. But still, even after that, people are not even giving the tissues. So much people are blind about the corneal, about opacity in the cornea. Still, we have shortage of the corneas. People do not even do eye donation. Okay. So, now when this program was started, the first we started with cadaveric donations. More and more people, living donation was not possible. So we are getting cadaveric donations from the dead bodies. Now as the things are changing now, you see more and more people are coming for the live donations and less people are coming for the cadaveric donations. While cadaveric donation should be more, because more than 20 lakhs people in India die of the road traffic accidents. Okay. In what condition brain death occurs? Either in head injury or stroke, brain hemorrhage or stroke. They are the three typical conditions. Last is brain tumor. So generally we do not take organ from the brain tumor because it is cancer could have metastasized to other organs. So we avoid taking from that. But there are three conditions. Generally we take this. Okay. But so many people die with road traffic accident, they come with head injury. But even then relatives are reluctant to do organ donation. Lack of awareness. So now more and more live donations are coming. So we should, you are all youngsters, now you are here. Tomorrow you will go back to society, you go to your friends, your relatives, and now you are medical. People will ask you, what is organ donation? Is it done in your hospital? What are the drawbacks? This and that. You should have knowledge about it. Motivate them, remove their myths, remove their doubts, and tell them be organ donor and become hero in the life. Because ultimately what will happen to body after death? What will happen? Burnt or buried along with all the organs. So if organs are donated, at least they will live in somebody's body. You can recycle your organs, you can see your life in others. Okay. So it is a great donation if somebody can do. Like this picture shows how we transplant kidney. Like in this, you see both kidneys are diseased. They're not giving me pointer. Okay, see both kidneys are diseased, but the kidney which is being transplanted is always transplanted in iliac fossa, preferably in right iliac fossa or sometimes in the left iliac. Sorry, preferably in left iliac fossa or sometimes in the right iliac fossa. The left iliac fossa has more space than the left, and the right side is cecum. So we transplant in the iliac fossa, and we anastomose the renal artery with internal iliac artery and vein to the internal iliac vein, and ureter is implanted into urinary bladder. This is the procedure we do. This is the clear diagram of the same thing. Now, what we can do to overcome the shortage of the organs? Like we can improvement in the process of the organ donation. We can increase the funding for this program, more advertisements, more CMEs, more education, more public awareness, and we can improve the techniques. We can maintain meticulous waiting list. We can improve our medical technology so that better results are there. We can open more retrieval centers, more laboratories who can do DNA testing, HLA testing, and like this, we take all the measures. This program can be further improved. Why kidney only is so important that it gets damaged so frequently? Firstly, consumption of contaminated water. Contaminated means sometimes you find a lot of fluoride in the water or infections in the water, dirty water, that damages the kidney. Excessive intake of painkillers. You get backache, you get some pain somewhere, you go to counter and take diclofenac, Voveron, and you keep on taking that for months together. They are the cause of the. Okay. In Western countries, you cannot get any painkiller on the counter. Without doctor's prescription, they don't even give you paracetamol. There's no question of getting any antibiotic outside. In US, if you stay, you cannot get any antibiotic without prescription. Even doctors are very, very particular about writing antibiotics. They don't use antibiotics. And here in our country, anything amoxicillin first, Ciplox first. थोड़ा गला खराब हो गया, Ciplox. So that is bad. Similarly, diabetes and hypertension, kidney is a target organ for them. You say hypertension, high BP and sugar, both have got effect on multiple organs, and kidney is by and large mostly affected by these two diseases. And smoking and sedentary lifestyle is again responsible for kidney damage. Now, people will ask you, after transplant, what is the life? How many years I will survive? What patient will survive? So we do 5-year survival survey. In case of heart, it is about 77%. I mean, at 5 years, 77% people will be living after heart transplant. Okay. The person whom we have transplanted heart in 2015, now it is more than 13 years now. The patient is again coming to us every month to take medicines from us. And he is working his field. Hal chala raha hai wo. So it gives us so satisfaction that we transplanted heart to this patient and is coming. His name is Shauji Ram. Because I can't remember, I can't forget his name. I was deeply involved in process of the heart transplant. I am not surgeon, but I look after all the administrative things, legal things, administrative things. Similarly, liver transplant, again about 78% people survive after 5 years. Kidneys is much better, 88%, and lungs only 55%. This I am telling because people will ask you. So become a donor, encourage transplant. To achieve this, we on 27 November is observed as Organ Donation Day, in which we organize seminars, lectures, awareness talks, ads, TV talks. So we want to make the people aware that they should do organ donation. So 27 November is Organ Donation Day. We celebrate it every year. So give life to others once you are no more. And like you donate money. Bhikari ko paisa dete na. Money we donate, food we donate, shelter we donate. Similarly, we should donate organs also, which are no use afterward death. And this recycling will be there. Now, now I come to little legal aspects. Organ donations happening since 67 onward. People have been doing. It was rampant. Now what happened? Somebody has got technology. There were no legal regulations. So organs were being sold. So poor people used to sell their organs for money. This is known as organ trading. It was rampant. Okay. So to stop this, rich people can give 20 lakhs for one kidney. No problem. So this and who will give his kidney? Person who is poor. So poor will be exploited. Were exploited by the rich people. And of course, doctors also are party to it. So government, firstly the UNO, the WHO, and then Indian government made a rule, Human Organ Transplant Act in 1994, which we started in 1996 in India. And it's similarly, the other name of the same act is Transplant of Human Organ Act. You can tell in both ways. Somebody said this or that, but it was in 94 we started, and then there are some regulations. And again I said there was the narrow spectrum of the donors. So some amendments were done to make this process easier. So in 2008, so the organ donor pool becomes little wider. So government came out some amendments in 2008, and then they included auntie, uncle, siblings, and bua, buaji, वगैरह वगैरह. ठीक है? Okay. So now about this, to implement this act at national there is an organization NATO, that is National Organ Tissue Transplant Organization. It is located in Delhi. Under this there are 6 regional organ tissue transplant organizations known as ROTO. They are in Chennai, Bombay, Calcutta, Chandigarh, Guwahati and Delhi. We come under Chandigarh. And then each state has got a state organ tissue transplant organization. Okay. So when any body organ is available, we inform to SOTO. SOTO gives message to all the hospitals that there is a liver available, who will like to take it. Then everybody sends demand. Then they scrutinize with the basis of the seniority of the waiting list of the patients. And then after scrutinizing, then they allot the organ to particular hospital. So this job of SOTO. Suppose under the SOTO, Rajasthan, no recipient is available for particular organ. Then they inform the ROTO. Then ROTO gives signal to everybody. They say organ is available in Jaipur, who wants to take, liver is available in Jaipur, who wants to take. So like that, then if not in ROTO, then they get to NOTO also. So sometimes organ go even up to Chennai. Okay, but no organ should be wasted once it is donated. This is the theme. So as I explained to you, the restrictions have been made, Brenda certification and all. This is the form in which a living person can make his will to donate the organs after his death. Okay. This once fills up and we get 2 witnesses. This is the card which we give to the person, and whenever he dies, his next of kin can produce this card. We can collect the body. So this is all about be a hero, be a donor, and others to donate the organs. This was the topic of the today. Now, any doubt, questions, anything, I will be happy to answer if I know.